Article 18 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code speaks about manipulation of a match, and we'll put up those articles right now. Many people think that you can simply write to FIFA and say, no, this referee was poor, so let's replay the match. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to prove that the result of the match was manipulated by some way or the other. That's what the FIFA Disciplinary Code says, that we have Article 18.1, which says anyone who directly or indirectly by an act or an omission, which means by taking a decision or not taking a decision, unlawfully influences or manipulates the course, result, or any other aspect of a match and or competition or conspires to attempt to do so, by any means shall be sanctioned with a minimum 5-year ban on taking part, right? And then Article 18.2 then speaks directly about match officials. If a player or official engages in behavior that is described in paragraph 1, where they unlawfully influences the result, then that's where FIFA comes in and investigates. It's not about poor performance. You know, Carol, in the report that I have, because I've already submitted the report for the first half to SAFA. In the report, I said, you can't make a submission to FIFA and try and fight for a replay based on poor performance. Because if there's poor performance, that's not a problem, you can appeal. But how do you differentiate poor performance from manipulation? This is what I discovered when I analyzed, and this is just coming out of the first half. There was an average of 1 major incident per minute. When major incident, a game-changing incidents where the other team gains possession from whatever decision that has been taken. 45 major incidents in the first half.
Wow.
Number of ignored or not seen, for whatever reason. I don't want to speculate on the reason. That's for SAFA to investigate why there were 17 out of 45 major incidents that the whistle was never blown. Now, the number of awarded, out of the 45, only 28 were awarded because the 17 were ignored. The number of spot-on decisions out of the 45 were 17. Now, that tells you that only 37.8% of decisions made in the first half were correct. The number of incorrect decisions, 26 out of 45. You can never have a referee at that level who has an error rate of almost 60%. But again, even at 60%, you can't appeal to FIFA and say, no, this match must be replayed. You must go further and analyze, was there a pattern of bias? That is when we looked at the number of decisions that went against Bafana. 25 out of the 28 that were given went against Bafana.
Jeez.
89.3% of incorrect decisions.
Wow.
Leave out the correct decisions because they would have gone either way. And only 10.7% of the incorrect decisions were against the home team. And those 4.4% inconclusive were purely because of the poor quality of the footage that were received. But that's insignificant. What's more significant, and the leg that SAFA can stand on, is a pattern of bias. And when you can establish a pattern of bias, because poor performance, Carol, means that the referee had a 51%, 49% incorrect decision when you look at the two teams. But 89.3% incorrect decisions against one team. There's a pattern of bias, and the pattern of bias equals manipulation of the result. And that's the leg that SAFA can stand on. What the reason behind that pattern of bias is not for me to say. I believe SAFA have got additional material that